For me, the impact of those 45 days, like I just said, man, it was life changing for me. I mean, it's hard to describe just how much it meant to me. And now that I've heard Mitch and Sherry talk, um, I see that it had an impact on them as well. Uh, when I made that phone call that night, again, even before I came back to Arkansas, I just felt like the Lord was asking me to go back to Arkansas. I didn't know why, didn't have a clue why. I just know I just felt like that's what He was saying to me to do. And so on a Thursday, and this was on a Thursday, and I thought, okay, Lord, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And so Friday, I went in and I quit my job. And I told Ian, my son, and Lauren. And Ian kind of understood. Lauren thought I was kind of nuts, thought I was crazy. And so Saturday morning, all my stuff was packed in my Jeep. And I said, Lord, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I have faith. And, back then I was so shaky. But I'm going to do it. And so I just hit the road and said, I felt like the Lord was telling me, when you get there, then I'll tell you where to go. So as I was driving up from Dallas to Arkansas to Fayetteville, I was praying all the way, Lord, what am I going to do? I have no idea. I have nowhere to go. I don't have any place to stay once I get there, and I have very little money. Uh, and But I kept driving. And when I got almost to Fayetteville, I just heard that Spirit tell me to do three things: to drive up to Rogers to this apartment complex and pray. And then once you leave there, go to your storage unit and pray. And when you get to your storage unit, I'll tell you who to call. So I went to Rogers, did it, and I came back to my storage unit. And boy, the Spirit was moving in me, and it said, and Mitch and Sherry's name came up. And I was like, oh no, Lord, not them, not them. And it wasn't a negative toward them. It was just that I was so embarrassed and ashamed of the life that I'd been living. And like I said, we really hadn't communicated for a long time. If I saw him, I'd say hi or something like that, but we didn't really have any deep communication for a lot of years. But I was really convinced that this is who the Lord wanted me to call. And so I just told myself, you know what, I'm going to call it one time. And I'm going to give it 5 rings. And if they don't pick up by that 5 rings, I am going to just, I'm going to hang up and I'm not going to call again. That's just what I'm going to do. So I call that number. I don't even know how I even had Mitch's phone number in my phone, but it was there. So I called. I don't know how I had his cell phone anyway. So I called, rang once, twice, 3, 4 times, and it rang. Started ringing that 5th time, and I was like, okay, I'm done. And I was reaching for it, and Mitch picked up the phone, and said, hey, Mitch, this is Manny. And he goes, hey, what's up, Mitch? What's up? And I said, well, this is going to sound kind of weird, kind of strange, but I was wanting to know if I could spend a couple of nights with you guys. And Mitch said, wow, it's crazy because I normally don't even get reception with this phone where I'm at. And I thought, okay, Lord, he answered it. He didn't get it, so there must be something in it. And but he said, hey, let me make sure. Let me yell at Sherry and see if it's okay. So he kind of put the phone away, but I heard him yell, hey, Sherry, May's on the phone now. Want to spend a couple of nights? Is that okay? And I heard Sherry go, what? Yeah, tell him to get over here. And so I thought, okay, well, I guess I'm going. So I hung up the phone and I drove around for probably over 2 hours trying to figure out a way to get out of it. And think of somebody else I can call instead, and then call them back and say, hey, that's okay, I appreciate it, but that's okay. Nobody came to mind. So I finally just drove over there slowly, thinking, okay, Lord, give me somebody else, And so I got over there, and man, there are those near misses in life. And there were so many things that could have tripped me up or could have stopped me from going over there. But I can tell you that 45 days was the most impactful days in my life. And even though I didn't know it, had no clue about it, and neither did they, man, the Lord had something in mind. And I went from this blob that all I could do is just drink milk to, man, just it's hard to describe the impact that Mitch and Sherry had on me. Mitch had this spiritual, we had no agenda, but Mitch, every single, and he'll confirm, every single night, it was something either I had just gone through that day or it's something I went through the next day. And again, no agenda. Mitch was talking off just whatever came to his mind, whatever came out of his heart. And sometimes it looked like I was kind of fading out, but man, I was sucking up every single word. And Sherry, she's always says that, what did I say? What did I? But man, it was so impactful. It was what I needed at that exact moment, that day. I'm telling you, it was what I needed to hear. And Sherry told me some things I needed to hear. She told me some things I didn't want to hear, and she slapped me on the knuckles about stuff. And but it was what I needed. It's what I needed. So thank you, Lord, for those 45 days. And there's just no way to describe it.